Hi guys, and welcome back to Simply Forex, the channel dedicated to you, the trader. We want you to be successful in the markets. So guys, I'm going to give you some gold every day. I'm going to let you know which currency pairs I'm looking to trade and which direction. And I'm also going to let you know which news that you must be aware of. If you like these vids, then please subscribe to the channel and like and share. So let's take a look at the chart and what I'm potentially going to trade today. Good morning traders, how are you? How was your weekend? I hope you had a lovely one. I had a very nice weekend. I caught up with some old friends and had a few drinks. So yeah, had a nice weekend. Anyway, it's Monday. It is the 14th of February. And as usual, guys, we're going to reflect on Friday's trades. And if you remember back to Friday, we had 4 potential trades. The first one was this, yeah? So this is the Canadian dollar against the Swiss franc. This is the day chart. And if you remember back to Friday, we were shorting because of this candle here. Yeah, so it sort of bounced off of this area of resistance. We had a large bearish candle form. So I thought we could take price back down to this blue line. And that's exactly what happened, guys. Okay, so, but let's look at H1 to see how it all played out. So yeah, so it's a bit of another crazy day, guys, with price just reacting crazily. So as you can see, price did retrace into this grey zone, and there was a couple of, you know, candlesticks in here, but because of all this chop, I didn't enter this trade here. Okay, you could argue this candle here is a bearish candlestick pattern, but there was just too much indecision here. Yeah, so I stayed out of the trade. And then finally, we got this crazy candle form, yeah? Yeah, and this is obviously a bearish candlestick pattern, and obviously sellers are in control, but it just reacted so strongly, I didn't have a chance to get in, guys. If I'd got in here, yeah, I'd have to have my stop above here, and it just didn't give me the risk to reward. I mean, firstly to this low, or even, you know, our daily low, we just didn't have the risk to reward. There was no value in this trade. If this normally happens, guys, what I do is, so price comes down to here. What I wait for on such a large candle is a retrace, maybe a retrace up to here, and then I can take it lower. Okay, but as you can see, it just reacted so quickly and didn't retrace. It just went bomb and then straight down to our target. So although it was a good trade and it hit our daily target, I didn't have the opportunity to get into this trade. It just didn't represent value. Okay, let's look at the next trade. So this is the New Zealand against the Swiss franc. So obviously very correlated with the Canadian Swiss franc as well. And then if you remember, guys, yeah, we had a bearish candle, yeah, come off this resistance. Then we had this candle form. So I thought we could take it lower down to this blue line and then even this blue line. Okay, so again, you can see, guys, that this was a successful trade and it hit our blue target and is even carrying on to this blue target. But let's look at H1 and again to see if we could get an entry. Right, so again, price, yeah, come up to our grey zone, which was great. The only problem is when it comes up to this grey zone, we want to know when sellers are in control. Okay, so we had this candle, sellers weren't in control. This candle, sellers were not in control. And this candle, sellers were not in control. It's not until we see this candle that I know that sellers are in control. Okay, but again, it was a similar problem to the Canadian Swiss franc trade. So yeah, if I entered here, I'd have to put my stop up here. And again, for our first target, there is no reward there. Yeah, the amount you're risking to the small reward is just not there. But then we do have our second target, our second blue daily target, which price could go on to reach. But because of this lack of reward, just this little bit here, I didn't take this trade either. Okay, although it hit the grey zone, come down, hit our target. Yeah, it looked like a great trade, but I just couldn't get into it because the candle, this candle didn't allow me enough reward. All right, so yeah, so that was that one. The next one was this. This was New Zealand against the US dollar. So what we were looking at Friday is, yeah, price came off of these lows here. And then I saw a sort of a bearish candlestick pattern. So I thought we could take price back down to this blue line. Okay, and it almost got there. Okay, but so the direction was good. So let's look at H1 to see what happened here. Okay, guys, so again, price retraced up into our grey zone, but again, on this candle here, sellers were not in control. This candle here, sellers were not in control. But on this candle, I thought sellers were in control. Okay, this one I actually was able to take this trade. Okay, so as you can see, price on this candle, price closed here, but I managed to get a small retrace. So I actually entered around here. I put my stop just above here, and I got out at these lows here. I think it was around 33. Okay, so it just about gave me a risk to reward of 1:1. I think it was a little bit under, but I was able to take this trade, and it was a profitable trade. Okay, I closed 80% of my trade at that low. Yeah, and I still have 20% to perhaps run down to this blue line. Okay, so this we managed to get in just, and it was a good trade, guys, a profitable trade. The final one from Friday was this. Yeah, so we had these lows, and then we saw this candle form. It really bounced up off of this level of support, and I expected price to come up and hit this blue line, and again it almost did. All right, but let's look at H1 for execution, see if we could get into the trade. So again, guys, price come down and entered this grey zone, which we want. We did have this candle here, but it just wasn't strong enough for me to enter. I didn't think buyers were in control. Okay, so I didn't enter on that candle. And then finally we get this candle, yeah? And obviously buyers are now in control. But the same problem I've had with a lot of trades yesterday was the risk to reward. Okay, so if I entered here, I would have to put my stop, probably below here. And this area compared to this area, there was just not enough reward again, guys. Okay, I'll be risking a lot to get a little reward. Okay, so again, although the pair did exactly what I expected, come down to the grey zone and go back up to the highs, we just didn't get a trade because this candle was just too large. And again, it just didn't retrace enough, guys. Sometimes when this kind of candle happens, I wait for price to maybe retrace a bit and then come up to these highs, but it just shot off. Didn't give me an opportunity to get in. Okay, guys, so yeah, they were the four trades from Friday and what we did and didn't do. So I hope that helps. Now we're going to look at today's trades and what I could potentially trade on Monday, the 14th of Feb. So we've got two potential trade ideas for today, for Monday. The first one is this. This is the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar. We've been shorting this since Friday. So remember we had this large rejection wick from these lows here. It's rejected down. And then yesterday we also, on Friday we also had a bearish candlestick as well. Okay, so I think we can still come down to this blue line at 606 and then potentially this blue line as well at 551. All right, so let's look at H1 for execution. Yeah, we have quite a large grey zone, guys. You can see how much price has just been whipsawing about. So yeah, what we want to see is price retrace into this grey zone somewhere, and then we want to see a bearish candlestick pattern form. And then first of all, we can take it back down to these lows. This will be our first target. We can close 80% of the trade and then let the rest of the trade run down to our other blue daily target. Okay, so New Zealand US dollar short, that's our first trade idea. The second one is this is the euro dollar against the US dollar. Obviously, both the trades we're looking at is US dollar strength. So trade the one that gives you the best setup, guys, okay? But yeah, euro against US dollar, we're looking to short this. We had a large bearish candle form on Friday. And I think we can just take price back down to this blue line here, okay? But we do need a retrace to give us some value. Okay, so let's look at H1 for execution. So yeah, what we want to see, guys, is price retrace up into this grey zone. Then we want to see a bearish candlestick pattern. And then again, we can take price back down to this low first of all, close 80% of the trade, and then leave the rest of the trade and the 20% to run down to our blue line, our blue daily target. All right, guys, so that's the second trade idea, euro US dollar short. Okay, that's it for today. Let's look at the news. Before I start the news, guys, if you're enjoying this daily market analysis, then please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button. And then you'll receive it every single morning, Monday to Friday. So go ahead and do that, guys, and help support the channel. Right, let's take a look at the news. On Monday the 14th, we have no real news to speak of throughout the day. No 3-star ratings, but then we do have one late in the evening, guys. So we have this at 11:50 p.m. We have a 3-star rating, and that's the GDP coming out of Japan. All right, guys, but that's the only piece of news that we're interested in, and that happens quite late at night. So yeah, that's it for the news, guys. If you've enjoyed the video, then please subscribe, like, and share with your trader friends. I hope you have a wonderful trading day, and I'll see you tomorrow, guys. See you later.